Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the most wonderful time of the year. Excuse me, miss. My eyes are up here. So I'm just out here in the garage, and I got my entire blow mold section ready to go, and I decided that I should make a video about it. So first of all, I picked up some new lights for the outside of my house for 75 bucks on Marketplace, and I got like 20 strings for 75 bucks, so I think that was a good deal. There's only a few duds, so anyways, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty decent at night so far. Like, so head over here and show you what I got going. I got more lights up here. I didn't put any up high because I don't really want to, and I think with all the characters, it's enough lights for me. I think it's probably good enough to get on the tour. But I got lights down in this tree, that tree, all up in here, and I actually have a star up there, which I may or may not try to get working. Long story, way back in the day, this was a crazy Christmas lighthouse put on by my dad, and he had a huge star up there, but that thing has not been lit for like 15 years. This house is now owned by my sister. I just rent the basement. Anyways, I may or may not get that star going for nostalgic reasons. Anyways, I got a couple blow molds already out here. Two of these posts I just picked up new this week actually, and two other ones are new for this year. I got a Snoopy. So fun fact, that Snoopy was stolen in like the year 2000 or something, but way back in the day, whenever we got it. And then somebody returned it on like January 5th. They just threw it back in our yard. So that one has been since my childhood. So that one's a forever keeper, but it's just a fun little story. I guess they felt a little bit of the ghost of Christmas past or something came to tell them to return it, so they did. Anyways, couple soldiers, lights on the outside. Now we're gonna dip more into this collection. I think I'm gonna have about 30 pieces. I'm not 100% sure, I have not counted, but I know I have added 15 new pieces this year. I've just been buying and selling Christmas lights, so I managed to add about 15 pieces. Not almost. I managed to add 15 pieces with basically no cost to myself because I just was buying and selling. So maybe as I go, I'll talk about each one a little more closely, and we'll give an in-depth look at each blow mold. But yeah, I'm about to put them out in the yard, so that's what this video is going to be. An introduction to my blow mold, my Christmas blow mold collection. I do have one Halloween blow mold, but I'm a Christmas guy through and through. So yeah, let's get after it. So that's pretty funny. The Amazon guy got here right as I was about to start, and I got at least one of these pieces is for Christmas, so that works out pretty good. But anyways, I'm gonna throw these inside and head back to the blow molds. Okay, so plan is to start with these bears in that front garden. I inherited 4 of these bears back in the day from my dad's Christmas light display. Sold 2 of them, acquired another one that doesn't match. Got the white and the brown. So now I have 3. One doesn't match, but it doesn't really matter. You put the one that doesn't match in the middle. So yeah, we'll start with those. A few other things I acquired by inheriting these from, I say inherited, my dad is still alive, and he actually has the best decorated house in Osoyoos. But when they moved, they just weren't going to take this stuff with them, so my sister inherited it. But some of these other ones, the Mrs. Claus was inherited. A North Pole sign. My dad actually stole the one that I did inherit. I think a couple of these little snowmen, those were all inherited. These inherited, the soldiers, and obviously the Snoopy that I talked about earlier. But then everything else I've added. But anyways, I'm talking way too much. So I'm going to grab these teddy bears, put them in that garden, and then, yeah, I'll just keep going slowly.
So I'm just going to go ahead and start laying everything out, starting with the little drummer bears. While I do that, I do want to acknowledge that this is predominantly a van channel. You can see my van in the background here. I took that van on a 2-month-long adventure across BC and into Alberta, where I hiked, canoed, explored, chased waterfalls, and just plain old lived the van life. I highly recommend checking out those videos and also following me on Instagram at Sarge Inc. And as we move forward, I start placing out all my snowmen into the front yard. Snowmen are kind of my thing, and realistically, I'm probably on a quest to collect every snowman I can.
A little bit of awkward timing because the garbage truck's coming down the street. But I got all my snowmen roughly placed out. A little fine tuning I think here, but I got to stake everything out, so that's where the fine tuning is going to be. Up at this tree at the front here, that's where I put this, so that's where I'm going to put. I'm going to put my my choir boy, which honestly I think is kind of a creepy looking guy, but I got such a smoking deal. I bought that and these two Noel, like old school candles. I bought those and one of these Santa in sleighs here with 2 reindeer. The lady put that thing up for free, and I was like, not only will I give you free for that, I will give you $50 for that thing. So I went and picked up for 50 bucks. She sold me those 3 pieces for 20 bucks on this like neat little base. I'll probably pull out the base later and I'll show you. But she sold those for 20, the Santa for 50. I was able to sell that same Santa earlier this year, like literally like 2 weeks ago, for $850 for a Santa sleigh with 2 reindeer, and one of the reindeers had damage. And then I bought this Santa and sleigh and 1 reindeer for $300. So basically I got a Santa sleigh with 1 reindeer for $500, and then I used that $500 to basically pay for everything else I bought. And then I think I sold 1 or 2 other things, so it's all covered. But that deal was awesome. But anyways, snowmen are all roughly placed, so I think I'm gonna go. I guess I'll call it Santa's Alley. Just my side garden is gonna be all my Santas. So I guess that's what we're heading next to. We'll take Santa, Mrs. Claus, the North Pole sign. And actually this North Pole sign, I'll show you while I'm talking here, if I can get through here. I bought that because my dad, best decorated house in Soyuz, sent me to pick up that Mrs. Claus. There's a guy named Troy selling it, so he sent me to go pick it up because I live a lot closer. And while I was at it, I tried to buy a snowman, but he was selling to his other friend. So I picked up the North Pole sign, 50 bucks. It's not in the best of shapes, but it replaces the North Pole sign that, like I said, my dad stole from me. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal. So I picked that up just the other day, and that's it. I'm currently unemployed, so I gotta stop buying these things. But with that being said, I'm gonna go load up Santa's Alley, and then yeah, I'll pick you up after.
Here comes Santa Claus doing that Santa shuffle, belly full of jelly and a bag full of toys, rocking that red suit, shaking that big.
So I just put up my final piece, my little mini Santa. These are definitely gonna need some fine tuning, but my yard is a bit of an angle, so they weren't sitting flat where I wanted them, so I'm gonna have to stake them. Yeah, all Santas. That one. I'll do the full tour. Cool. I'm pretty happy. I got a couple more things I'm going to put in my yard. I got some tree decorations. I got something going over there. Still got to come from Amazon. But we're in business, so I think I'll go ahead. I'll stake all this stuff down off camera. That sounds very dull. And then, yeah, I'll come back when I light it up or when I add something else. So that's the plan for today, the rest of the day.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Okay, I got my twinkling trees up, and I got these giant inflatable balls. I already own that one. And one of these was the ones that came with Amazon while I was putting up my display. So I'm gonna inflate it. This one's supposed to be lighted too. I'm gonna blow it up, put it in the front yard. It's the final piece that I'm putting in the front yard. And then, yeah, then I'm gonna actually, you know, so I'm pretty annoyed. I was down here putting my presents under my tree, and then I heard a noise, a big clunk, and this guy fell down, and I damaged around his nose, just like the other one that has a damaged nose. But I literally just bought this thing, and he was one of the molds I was looking for quite a while. I say quite a while, a few months. And I really wanted the green hat with the blue eyes, and now I broke them. But I only paid $80 for them, and I bought in a package deal where I got this little guy, which is one of the things I also wanted pretty bad, because now I have a matching set of those two guys. But I'm pretty annoyed about that, because if you can tell, I like my snowmen, so that was a bummer to see that happen. But oh well, it's my fault, so I can't be that mad. See, I just want to say, this snowman here and this one here, I bought this one last year. No, that's earlier this year, with some of those black posts. I bought it as like a package deal. That's probably that is my oldest one, so I quite like it because it is old. And this one here, I like it because it's like kind of cute, I guess. And I got that thing for free at the dump. There were some guys literally throwing away some blow molds. And I was gonna offer to give him like 20 bucks for him because he was just throwing them away. He was literally paying to throw them away. But then the guy was kind of an a-hole to the person working at the dump. So I asked if I could just take them, and he's like, yeah, sure. So I gave him nothing. And I got a few blow molds. I sold a couple. I got that one there. That's where I got my Halloween one from. But anyways, the thing is starting to come together pretty good. I gotta get I guess I'll do that next. I'll pull out the interesting base that came with my fixture, with my choir boy and my candles, and I'll put it on the base and put it there, and that's my final mold to go out. But this thing is coming together very nicely. Still haven't staked anything out, which is why my snowman fell. Have these up in the tree. This thing down here. Yeah, so looking pretty good. So I'll get that choir boy up and going, and then yeah, then I'll stake it all down. I'm not even gonna show you how I stake it down, because it's pretty obvious, but I will show you this choir boy here. So my choir boy and candles came on a base like this, and my original Santa and sleigh did too, but this guy rigged up pretty good. I think he told me he was like an electrical engineer or something like that. So he rigged something up pretty good, which I'm gonna capitalize on. Again, I paid 20 bucks for my two candles and my choir boy and this sweet base. But basically, it's got a long plug. It's got 4 plugs mounted to it, and then it's got an extension cable too to chain off to the next thing. I think the guy originally bought it, or I bought it from, originally had like a farm, and I think he had a huge display, and I think he had them all on these, and just laid them out, chained them all together, and it was probably super easy to install, but yeah, pretty cool. But I gotta remount those onto here, lay it out, so yeah, that's the plan. And here we go. Everything is now officially staked down and it's lit. Finishing touches have been added. And that's it. That is my Christmas light display. Let's start over here with the choir boy. I got some sweet lighted balls. My neighbors actually wanted to find out where I bought those because they are a hit. Got the little drummer bears in the back. Snoopy by the front door. All my snowmen in the front yard. Got a few more snowmen here. Another lighted ball. I personally think that looks pretty sweet. Then we come down here, I got the new LEDs and the lanterns. Got Santa, sleigh, reindeer. And we got Santa's alley. And some presents. These presents were added because I asked my sister what she thought, and she's like, I think we need some presents under the tree. Presents are under the tree. I got my Santas. I quite like my mini Santa in the wishing well there. I think it's pretty sweet. North Pole. This Santa's a little bit weird because he kind of looks black, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It just looks odd because all the other Santas look white. And this guy's got a real dark face for some reason, but whatever. It's good enough for the Prime Minister. It's good enough for Santa. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think I'll do a little montage after this, but that's it. I'm pretty excited. This is my biggest Christmas display of my own ever. And frankly, I think it's better than my dad's, which is important to me because it just is. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much a wrap. I got 35 strong blow molds. I got at least 10 other pieces of stuff. Christmas lights on the house. Nothing up top, which could be a thing I add in the future. I even got a string on the van. But yeah, that's it. That's Christmas 2023, my blow mold collection. Peace.